Hi everyone, it's Sandy. Thank you for joining me here on my channel, Septera's Room. I'm finally able to come on here and share with you on how I made these gorgeous projects using my recent digital kit that's available now in my Etsy store. For those that had purchased the kit, thank you so much, and thank you for waiting patiently for me to come on here to show you how I made these projects. I did share the projects a few weeks back and showed you some of inspirational ideas for you, and then this video will be showing you on a couple of the projects. I'll do this as a part one, and then I'll do a part two and show you some more other projects using the kit. And for those that don't know what kit I'm talking about, it's my new kit called the Vintage Garden Avenue, and there are 5 sets to the kit, so there are 5 pages per kit, and they're listed separately in my Etsy store, so you can choose which kit you may want, so you don't have to purchase the whole set. So this one here is a journaling kit, and there are 5 pages, and these are the 5 pages to the kit. Background 001, you get 5 pages of these really gorgeous background prints. There is an ephemera kit and another set of background papers as well. So thank you again for waiting patiently for me to come and show you how I made them. So I'm just going to quickly show you the projects we're going to make in this video, and the ones I will show you in the part 2. So these are just some sweet little mini journals. This one and this one will be in part 2 video. This one is using the file tab, the large file folder, and I made it into a journal. And you just use, I think, one sheet or one of the kits to make this whole complete cover, not including the pages, but I'll show you how I put this together in the part 2 video. And then for this video, which is the part 1, I'm going to show you how I made this really lovely double pocket envelope, and it's a large size. It's really easy to make, and you've got a pocket there, and there is another pocket here, and then you also get another pocket on the front here, where I've just placed one of the file folder as a note card. And then this is one of the envelopes in the journaling kit, and I just placed that at the back here with this little, just to decorate the front. And the file folder journal that I made here, this will also fit perfectly in the back of the pocket here at the back. So I've got the seam binding sticking out, but it'll fit nicely in there, and you can close it up, and you've got a nice way to tuck in your little journal. You've got some little pocket spaces to put in all of your ephemera pieces, another spot to put maybe another smaller journal, and you've got them all in one envelope. So I'm going to show you how to put one of these together, and I'm also going to show you in this video how I made this, I'm not sure, I guess it's a tri-fold folio folder, and this one has a tuck pocket here in the front, and I've just added some of the ephemera pieces and just added some trim to the corner. So there's a pocket here in the front, and then I just decorated the front with some little tags from the kit, and it opens up this way, and there is another tuck pocket there, a little corner tuck pocket down here, and there is a side pocket, and there's another envelope, and you can add some notes in there or another slim journal, just decorating that with some cheesecloth and some trim, and it opens up this way to these 2 places where you've got more tuck pockets for more ephemera. These are all from the kit as well. So these are some postcards, mini file folder, and some ephemera pieces and a tag. So I've just tucked them all in here so I don't lose them, and if I want to use them, I've got them in this folder. So it's a nice, great place to tuck in all of the ephemera pieces and journaling, all the stuff from the kit into one of these folders, so you've got them all organized in the one folder. And this is using a tea stain paper that I have. I just made it into a flip note card with another of the ephemera piece. I just folded a tea stain paper over a little bit and then just stuck one of these to the front. And then at the back here is just another pocket if you wanted to add some more notes or tags or anything you would like to tuck in there. So that is this one. So I'm going to show you how to make these in this video, and they're really easy to make. With this one, it was recreated from one of my a project I made not too long ago, and I was using scrapbook paper, a 6x8 paper pads, and this was made using 2 6x8 papers. So if you have scrapbook paper, you can also make these or this one with that, and I just use 2 6x8 papers. So it's exactly the same. You can see it's laid out the same. Difference is this is larger, this is smaller. And I will link this video down below for you if you want to use the measurements for a 6x8 size. I'll give you the link to that video. And then this one was also made from recreating one of another project I made not too long ago, which is this one. So it's exactly the same, just the difference is I'm using digital papers for this video. So you could see you can make all of my projects, or most of my projects, using digitals of your choice or scrapbook paper. So you can decide if you're a digital paper crafter or you like to make junk journals. You can make these sort of projects and change them up. So it's got the same ways you can see. So when you open up, it's got the same, and there's your little tuck pocket, and then you open up this way, and then it has your pocket there, and then that's the pocket. And this is also using 6x8 paper, 2 6x8 papers to make this project. So I'll also link this video down below. And I like the fact that I could make these in using 2 different papers. So let's go ahead and if you purchase my digitals, you can choose your background papers from those digitals or your own choice of digital papers. So let's make this one first, and we'll make this one next. So for this one here, you're only just going to need 2 background papers from the kit, and I've already, let me see, I've already cut some out. I think it was this one I'm going to use, and you're going to need one more. So this piece here, let me open it up so you can see. This is from one of the background papers from the kit, and then on the inside, I'll take this out so it doesn't look confusing. This envelope and this part here at the back, that's all one piece of a background paper. So you just want to pick out another background paper to go on the inside, and I did double print them on both sides as well, so you can see the pretty patterns on all throughout the whole envelope. So this piece is printed double-sided. So I've decided to use this one, and I've printed it on both sides. I've trimmed out the white part, the white border around the printing paper, and I'm using A4 size paper because that's what we use here in Australia. You can use this, make this project in US letter size as well. The only difference is the size will be just a little bit smaller than the A4 size, so it'll still come out the same, just maybe slightly smaller than this one, but it'll still look the same. So this one here is going to be this part, and then for the inside part, which is the double pocket envelope, I've decided to use this pattern, and that's also been printed double-sided, and I'm going to have this print as this part showing, and then the inside part is going to be this one. And you just play around with when you fold it, you will still be able to decide which side you want, because it's you can still have time to decide once you folded everything. All right, so let's make the cover first, which is going to be this one. Now I didn't do any measuring. We're just going to fold, and then that's the way we'll do it. So what I'm going to do here, I've done some trim layering and decorated with some trim, so you can decide to do that once we make the project. So this part here, I want this part showing. So I'm just gonna, so all you're gonna do is you're just going to fold the part that's the closure is gonna get folded over, and then this is the bottom part there. You just want that about, let's say, about 2 inches in, or well, let's see, yeah, about 2 inches roughly. And then this part you're going to go over, and you want a gap about 1 inch gap, so the closure part is a little bit longer when you fold it over than the bottom part. So just I'm just going to do it like that. You can use a scoreboard if you have a scoreboard, if you want a more accurate measurement for yourself. So that's what you're doing. You just want to fold it so that your closure is a little bit longer than the bottom part. So that's all there is to that. So we've made the cover. That was quite easy. And you can distress your edges first before we start adhering everything together. So if you want to, I normally use a vintage photo by Tim Holtz, distressed ink. I won't do it all around, but if you are new to using the digitals and inking, you just go all around, or the part where it's folded, and just keep going. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the distressing and inking the edges, but just to give you an idea, just do that, and the inside, because it does make a difference to your project. It really just gives, and you get to cover all the white part of the edges too. So that's all you do, just keep doing that all around. So that's just an idea. So I've just done a little bit there to show you. So we've got that, and now we're going to go and make the pocket with the closure flap there, and that's grabbing your other piece of paper. So let's put that to the side, and then what we're going to do here is, I'll open this up this way so you can see. You've got a closure here. So what we want to do here is, again, you're going to decide which end you want your closure envelope showing. So I'm going to have this part, and you can have this part. So let's just say I'm going to have this part. So what you're going to do here is you're just going to, you're pretty much just going to go like this. You want it so that you have it like that. So you just have a little bit up there, and your closure like that. So it opens up like that. So what we can do first is just going to go like this. Oh goodness me, someone's riding their motorbike down the end of the street. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's very loud. So I'm just going to do that, fold it. So I guess what you want to try and do is have this part and this part roughly the same gap between the folds. So that's what you're trying to sort of want to do that. So you've got that idea, just keeping the distance of that and that about the same gap. So that is now going to be that part. You can see that part will be the pocket, and this part is this closure. And then we're going to open it all up again, and doesn't matter which way we're doing this, we're just going to, oh actually we will, just so I don't get confused. So this is your closure. We're going to open it up, and we're going to fold both sides in about 1/2 inch. around about 1/2 inch. And you can use your scoreboard if you want a more even folds. So I'm just going to bring that back like that. So now that is where you want your folds to be. Got them all folded on the inside. And over here we're going to create a notch. If you wanted to do that, I've done that here. It just decorates the top part of the envelope. And I did mine off-centered. Okay. Also just to make it a little bit different. And I might just ink that. Okay, so we've got that sorted. And what we're going to do now, I'm going to just turn it this way so you could see. I'm going to open everything up. Just open it all up. I'm going to go this way so you could see. So now you know where that is. We are going to remove these two little sections. So we're going to cut up. Just find your fold line. Right, and we're going to remove that. And then this side. And then you've got these, this score line here. We are just going to go in like into a V shape or an upside down V shape. Can you see that there? Just going to do that and remove that. So it's, we want the point where that score line is. We're going to go to this side now. We're going to do the same on that side, creating an upside down V. Just a little one. Doesn't have to be too much. Okay, so we've got that. And then we are going to just cut that into an angle there and there. And also, let's do this one as well. Just do that. So that's part's all done. Now I'm going to bring it back that way. And then we are going to, one second, I'll just try to remember. Yeah. Oh, I might pull around. Let's just do this first. So this part gets closed in. So they both get back. Fold them all back in. Once you've got all of that. And that notch is back up there. Let's bring that back up. And that gets back to the front. The reason why I did these is so that you've got more of an opening gap, so it's not a tight fit. So hopefully you've got that. So you're just going to close those back in the way we had it. We're going to corner around these two corners. That way you know that that's the front where the envelope's going to be. 1 and 2. And now we're just going to bring the cover to the front. And then this part down here will get placed down the bottom there. Open that up and that just slides in like that. And there you have your double pocket and there's your cover. So that's all there is for that. And now let's just put it all together. And I don't have my glue here. Let me see if I've got my glue. I don't think I left my glue in my other room. So I'm going to have to use the large glue bottle. I thought I had it here, but I haven't got it here, so I'm going to use my large bottle. I'm working between two rooms, between my craft room and my master bedroom. So let's just put this together now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add glue to these two. And when you place it down, we're just going to place it down just a little bit above the fold. Not right on the fold, just it gives you a bit of room for some movement. So we've got that glued. Now that will now give you your back pocket. And now we can add glue to these two sides so that when you glue that, that'll give you that back pocket. This glue that I'm using is no longer available if you are in Australia. This is the glue that I use for my projects. I just put them into a smaller bottle. But it's discontinued now, which I'm very sad about because it's a great glue. So I've found another glue that I'm using as well to use. All right, so now we have that pocket done, this pocket's done. Now we're going to bring this up so we can have this pocket. And to do that, we're just going to add a little bit of glue here and here, sort of in line with the fold as best you can. So I'm just going to add glue here. Or you can even add glue here, but just don't go too far up. Just go enough where this edge is going to be. Otherwise you're going to have glue up there. And then just seal that off. And so what you want is you want that flap to overlap this pocket too. So that is how I made this double pocket envelope. And then you just have fun decorating it with some trim. I've got a little cluster here that I added to the front, and then this is the little label that's in the ephemera kit. I just cut that out and place it there so you can put a date, or you can note what's inside the folder. So if I wanted to decorate, let me just, so if you want to decorate, you can add some trim. This is a nice vintage trim that I have, and it's just pretty, even more prettier once you decorate it with some trim and ribbon, buttons, any embellishment. So that's that one done. Now I'm going to show you how to put this one together. This is fairly easy to put together as well, so hopefully it won't be confusing when I show you how it's made. Let me take everything out of here so you could see how it looks. So I'll just take them out. Just makes it easy for now. So what we have here is we have the cover. I'll just turn it this way so you can see. This is also from the background kit. And the great thing about the background papers that I have, you can have them in any direction you like. So I've got two here, and I've just done these ones on single side. I didn't double print them on both sides, but you can certainly do that. And what I've done with this one, because this was also single-sided, I just had a stencil and then I rubbed it in with the Tim Holtz ink. And I'll do that in this video so you can see how I've done that. Let me grab a stencil to do that so you can see how it's done. So I've got one here. These are the stencils. They're like white sort of, this one's got roses, so we'll use that. And now all you're going to do is you're just going to create like a trifold, and one side is wider than the other side, so you can see. So just decide which part you want showing as your cover, which is this part. And so you just want one side a bit longer and this side a bit shorter. So you want to just maybe fold it over about 2 inches away. About 2 inches maybe. Let's just say that, about 2 inches. So I'm just going to go like that. We're just going to make a fold. I'm not going to measure it out. And then when you fold this over, fold it just a little bit away from this edge. So I'm just going to do, so that way it doesn't catch when you want to close it. Just maybe about 1/8 of an inch or so, so you can see how mine is just a little bit away. So So just keep it away a little bit. So there we have the fold. We've done that part. And now what we want to do is down the bottom, on the bottom part, we're going to fold this up, and you just want to fold that about, what have we got, 1.5 inches up. Because you still want a nice long, a good enough height fold. So I'm just going to fold that over. So now we've got that. And what we're going to do here is we are going to remove these 2 panels. We're leaving this one. So we'll cut up here. And we're going to keep this to the side. So that's going to be put up like that. Now I'm just going to cut off a little bit off the edge here, just going in a little bit, just to remove maybe about that much. And that's also so that it doesn't catch onto the fold when you want to close it. Okay. And with this you can ink all your edges as well, and just start inking all your edges. And that's also on the inside. Ink all your folds. And I'm going to just do a little bit of stenciling like I've done here, and I'm just going to I've actually got another one I'm going to use. I've got my other rubbing tool. I usually use this other rubbing tool, but I think my granddaughter may have moved it. So I've got this other one, and it's a flat one. But I'm just gonna just lightly do that. I normally have another piece of paper underneath so it doesn't go on my desk, but I haven't got that now, so you can see it does that. So make sure you put another paper underneath it so you don't get it all over the place where you don't want it to go. I'll just do a little bit here. So that's just another way to do it. Okay, that should do it, just so you've got the idea on how it's done. Okay, so that's that. So then when you close that up, that'll be that. So we've got that. This part is done for now. We've got these 2 pieces. I'm going to cut where I've got the fold. And then you've got now 2 of these pieces. This one will go over here, and that becomes your little tuck pocket. I think that's what I've done. I'm just trying to remember how I've done it. I think that's right. Yeah, we can do that. So that goes there. I'm just going to ink this. And I might even, I can even go that way if you like. You can go that way. I'm going to go that way with this one because the envelope is facing the right way. So I might do that. I might even trim this part out. So you can play around with this part on how you want your pocket to look like. So let's do that. So I can glue that down now. I'm only going to glue down the 2 sides. that's given me, oops, I'll use this one. I've got a tuck pocket there now for all your smaller bits and pieces of ephemera. So we've got that. And let me glue down this pocket. And I'm just going to glue down this side. I'm only going to glue the one side because I want to have a bit of room for the opening here. If I glue that down, it sort of restricts you from having a few things in there. At least that gives you a bit more of a room to easy take everything out. And now I've got this piece. This piece is going to come over here. Oops. Is this part here, this piece here. That's going to go, oops, sorry, wrong way. That's going to go on this side here. But before we do that, we're going to add another piece, which is this one. So you've got a tuck spot there and a tuck spot here. To do that, we're going to grab the other background paper. So we'll put this to the side. Now first, we've got another background paper, and that this whole background paper will make this side pocket. It will also make this coin or this envelope here. And it's going to give us this extra piece here as well. And so that's 3 pieces we're going to make. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this piece, and we just want it to be one side a bit bigger than the other, or one side a bit wider than the other. So I'm just going to do that. So we have one, we're going to cut it in half. So just want it a little bit wider. And we're going to cut it. Oops. Oh, it's stuck. Why is it stuck? Okay. I've got 2 pieces. So the wider piece, this wider piece is going to be for the envelope in here. So when you cut it, you just want to make sure that the width is going to be not wider than the actual panel. Otherwise you won't be able to fit your envelope in here. So when you fold it, just measure it out first. Now we've got this piece, and this piece you want to cut it with whatever the height of your folio, so whatever the width of this one, just roughly. It doesn't have to be exactly. So mine is about there. I'm just going to bring it in, and I'm going to go about there. So now we've got 2 pieces. So we've got these 3 pieces. And then we've got this piece here. What we'll do first, let's make the envelope. Let's get that inside this middle piece first. So we've got this piece, and we're going to do the same. We're just going to fold it in on both sides as even as you can, about 1/4 inch in. And then we're going to make a closure. We'll do the closure first. So you bring down your top however height you want it. And then I might just open it up, might be easier. So that's going to be the closure, and that's going to be the, so you just sort of work out how you want it, allowing a little bit of a gap between the closure and the opening, and that's going to get placed in here like that. So I'm happy with mine about there. fold that down, and my closure is enough there so that I've got somewhere to add some Velcro here, or an eyelet or a magnet. So that's going to go in like that. And then with these side folds, I'm going to turn it this way. This is the shorter part. We're going to remove these two pieces. I'm just going to have a look. Did I do that with this one? Okay, yeah. I'm just going to angle cut it straight away there. And then we're going to, sorry, I've just forgotten how did I do that. Oh, did I do, yep, it's exactly the same as that other one. We are going to just do this, like we had done with that other envelope. We're just going to do those upside down V's. And then with this one, these two pieces are going to get folded in. These two pieces will get folded to the back. So it's just slightly different to the other one. That's going to go to the front. That will go to the front, and then those two pieces will get glued to the back here like that. And again with this, ink your edges first before you assemble it, so that otherwise it'll be a bit hard. So I'm just going to do that. You can also stencil the inside part of this too. Let's stencil that. And I'll corner around these corners. And you can now glue these tags. This is such a big bottle, it's probably taking up most of the frame. Okay, so that part. Now we've got our pocket there for the envelope, and then let's glue these two sides down to create that back pocket. So that part is complete for the middle, which is the same as this one. And I did add a trim, and then I did fussy cut one of the flowers from the kit, and you can do the same here. See how pretty that looks already once you start decorating your envelope. How pretty is that already with one of the embellishments? And then I can even add that. There's also this cute heart. You can place that there like that. How pretty is that already? So there are flowers. I'll just show you if you've missed if you haven't seen the ephemera kit. It's this kit pack, and I've got in there a whole bunch of flowers that you can fussy cut, little envelopes, some tags, little tags, and some note that you can make these into note cards or journaling cards. So this is a great ephemera kit. So we've got that part done. We have this part done. This pocket is done. Let's now work on this one before we move to the front. Now this one is the longer piece, and the shorter piece, and this piece we will work on that one once we've done the side pocket. And this is pretty straightforward. We're only going to fold down 3 sides, again about 1/4 inch also on 3 sides. this will also allow you to have more room to add some more bulkier, you know, if you want to have a stack of note cards or a little mini journal, there's room for that. So we've got these 3 sides folded, and all we do here is just snip these little pieces out into an angle. It just helps with the folding when we glue it down. And I'm also going to create a notch just on the top. You can do it in the center, or you don't need to do a notch if you don't want to. Yeah, let's just ink these edges. And that will get placed there, so we can add some glue there. You can just sort of place it anywhere in the middle, wherever you like. So there you have a pocket there, and you can also do the same and decorate the front with some embellishments. Like that's a pretty one there too. You can also do it like that. So now we've done that pocket, that completes that side. I did some trim, just some little clusters there. And now we can move to the front to complete the closure. And what we'll do here is we've got these 2 pieces. We're going to grab this piece, and that piece is going to get placed here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a little tab here. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut up about halfway, angle that like that. Corner around this top corner, and I'm going to ink that as well. And that's going to get placed in the front. Now, if you think this is too wide, obviously my measurements with this folding is a little bit smaller than this width. You can just trim this down a little bit if you don't want too much of that. So I'm going to trim one down a little bit so it's sort of sitting about this. I'm going to trim off a little bit here. Probably go about this much is fine. I want to just place that there so it still allows me to have enough room in there. So that's going to go there, and then this piece will go on the top above it like that, and that's going to create the tuck pocket there. And then we also have a tuck pocket here, and we'll glue this part down first. So to do that, we're just going to glue down. We're just going to just a little bit of glue just there and here, and then we're just going to place it back down somewhere in the middle. And that should give us a tuck pocket there now, because we've glued at the top there and at the back there. You might want to add a bit more glue if you didn't go far enough. Just want to make sure there's glue there to close that. And then we've got this piece, and this piece will glue along there, and that will cover that part that's open. And then we're just going to do that. So I'm going to glue 3 sides. 1 all the way down. I think the glue's coming out. Place that. So now I have a tuck pocket there in the front, a tuck pocket here at the back now. I've got a pocket there. I have a side pocket there. I have a pocket in there. I have a pocket at the back there and a nice large pocket in the front. And then all you do now is have fun decorating it with your trim. Let's decorate it so you can see. And then I've also punched a hole up here to just add a cluster of tags, ribbon. I used a ball pin here, if you can, and then just pierced it through. I did glue in a piece of cotton fabric to the side here, just to keep it sturdy so that the ball pin won't tear through the corner here, through the paper. So I did add some fabric there to give it some strength. So you could do the same, like this piece here, I could add that there, for example. Just seen that. I can add that there like that, and that could be just to keep it, give it some strength. And then I can pierce a little hole there. I'll just put that through there. I'll show you what I mean. And I've got, these are my little smaller strips of trim, and then what I've done is I've just thread them all through a ball pin and then one of these rings, and then I have this hook that like a mannequin hook, this sort of thing, and I just hang them all on there so I can go through what I want. So let's say we could use this one, so I could put that there so you can see it looks pretty already. Let's decorate this piece there, just so you can see once you add some trim and bits and pieces, it makes a big difference once you decorate that. So I can put that there. And this glue is really good because it also, it bonds fabric, paper, leather, plastic, glass, and dries clear, and it doesn't warp your paper or bubble your paper. It's just fantastic glue. So I did end up picking up about 3 or 4 of those bottles before they discontinued them for a different brand. So I've decorated that, and then you see how pretty that looks. And then with this piece, I've just got, you can, like an awl, if you have an awl or a hole punch. You can just pierce a hole through there, through your paper. Let's grab these just so you can see how pretty it looks once you add all of your decorative pieces in there. So there's just a little decorative piece, and then you just thread that through, and that will just hold everything in place. But you can see how pretty that looks once you just add the little finishing touches. It just makes a difference already. Let's add that to here. I'm going to put that there because it looks pretty. And then you can start filling up your folder with all of your ephemera pieces. So that can go there. And then you've got, you can make a couple of these pieces, and that will fit nicely in the back here. You just cut it to fit. So that decorates that already. I've got these postcards. They can go in there. And you can see it already looks nice once you've filled it all up with all of your ephemera pieces. This would also fit the your envelope. That can go in there like that. So that is just another way to create a nice folio folder with my new digitals. You could also make these with all of my other digitals that I have listed in my Etsy store, and they make great Happy Mail gifts. You can have these as an organizing storage idea for all your different mini journals. You can tuck your journal in here and all the coordinating pieces to go inside, and then just have them all stacked up. So this is part one of making the double envelope and my tri-fold folio. I will be back for part two, and we'll make this lovely little pocket journal, and I'll just quickly make a couple of these too in the video, and I may have a couple more project ideas with my digitals as well. So hopefully you'll come back and join me for part two if you love making junk journaling projects or working with digitals, or if you're new, these are great beginner projects as well. So thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye for now.